Your voice drops from taking testosterone, it doesn't go back.
I was never uncomfortable with my gender. I was uncomfortable with, I'd say, my relationships with other people.
Would you guys be there for me if I was going through something?
No. Nope. Absolutely not.
Blaire. Hey guys, what's up? It's me again. Got another video for you, actually a few. It's all about detransitioning. And why am I focusing on this video? I will explain myself. What I find kind of weird is that you can detransition, but if you try to find info how you want to detransition, the LGBTQ plus is not the best place to get that info.
Would you guys be there for me if I was going through something?
No. Nope. Absolutely not.
I hope it sucks whatever you're going through.
I hope it sucks.
What the fuck?
I hope it emotionally scars you for the rest of your life.
I can transition, you make money, but I cannot detransition because that is promoted in secret. We want you to make that mistake so you can repair that mistake. That's what I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I know a lot of people that have a dysphoria and they kind of conquer it by using the same body they were born in, even if they identify differently. But whenever I see money next to it, I'm like,
And now I've done it, and Bojack, I don't like anything about me.
I've been moving in backward direction during astral projection.
So apart from stories and things that you can read online or whatever, you come to a certain conclusion there is a specific voice that is never heard. And when you try to engage them, how they respond in such a unique way that it surprises you that they feel so alone in the community that is supposed to help them. And one thing that keeps coming back is, I don't care if you're transitioning or back, but you should never do it for a person. Because even if you marry a person, we all know many times marriage don't work because people change. You're never the same person. Everybody that is 40 hates his own self when they're at 20s. They're like, you are a freaking idiot. But now imagine now, your whole identity is in how people react to you. And now you're going to transition to convince them when those people that you try to convince might also change. Because if you do something for somebody else and you have a trigger warning lens to see, are they going to like me? Even on a bad day, if they react in the wrong way, amen, you might have changed your body permanently and that will even damage you way more. You're ready to deform your body to convince somebody with a permanent action. If you don't understand how dangerous this is, you really need to talk to a psychologist or a therapist.
But there's nothing wrong with you, physically. You've got the kind of looks that make other girls mentally ill.
She transitioned, she detransition. You can see little facial hair and everything, voice a little different, might be, but hey, whatever you might see, or you've noticed, it's permanent. She would never get removed that.
So stop it. You don't need any plastic surgery. You're perfect.
She's a beautiful person. I've seen people, if I read stories or whatever, you can find that people decide to identify as a man because they felt safer as a man. People won't harass them or anything like that. It can be waiting. Just talk to your therapist and your option. It shouldn't be something that permanent.
I recently detransitioned, probably like a month and a half ago, and I've been actively living detransitioned into a woman for like 2 days now. And just the search looking for information for like videos, because I mean, when I figured just like, oh, well, maybe I transition, I looked it up and there's YouTube videos out there and there's a lot of good content, but I couldn't find any of the answers or things that people were talking about, things that I wanted to know.
So detransitioning, well, you can find the content, and if you find the content, you might pay for it again. But it's all whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. They don't want to stop the idea that you start with the transitioning, but the detransition, we're not going to talk about that. It's like whoosh, whoosh. If you put your comment, if you remove your breast and you have put a gangster comment like, hey man, why did you do that? People are going to respond, well, you can always get a extra boob, a plastic boob or whatever. Oh well, he just wants people to look at them and feel this. You do know that there's something wrong with that, right? It's as if the breast is only something beautiful and that's it. No, it has a reason. You can be used. You feeling, you can touch them. There's so many things. Do you know how many people has to remove that with time? Oh my god, it's heavy, it's issue, or the thing puffed off. I'm like, come on, man, people, it's not that black or white. If you have a life and life is already difficult enough, I don't think you should consider it an experiment, an option. It has to be the last option. If it's even harder for me to just to understand, or I have to do deep dives on the internet with the right keywords, imagine somebody that did this. Do you really think they did the research about detransitioning before they started? No, because they didn't find the info. But right transition, oh my god, you will find too much content. It's so bad when you lose your voice. A lot of transitioning people are they're in a bad place because they lose their voice. And look at that. Hey man, just try it out. You might feel better for yourself, but I mean, if you don't like it, you just stop taking testosterone. Hey, that's a freaking gangster medical stuff. Oh, okay, so those were my option. Oh, so those are the consequences. Oh, I cannot make decision like this, but hey, too late. You have this voice. Why do you think so many people said to me, would you do anything? Would you take laser surgery so you can watch with this eye without glass? I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? How dumb do you think I am? One laser, I'm blind. I'm not gonna risk that. So my point being, whoever is convincing you to do this, it should be therapists and doctor and psychologists working together, not a stupid activist.
I was never uncomfortable with my gender. I was uncomfortable with, I'd say, my relationships with other people.
Now you're there. Why would you do something for another person when the relationship breaks? You will stay as that person that you change for them. It's not like a normal person. You're permanently changing something. Imagine the love of your life that disappeared and you think you lost him. So you decide to transition to compensate for the other person that came in the way. And now you break up and finally the love of your life came back. I always really loved you. Let's do something. Wait, what happened to your voice?
It sounds complicated and it sounds completely random. But sort of all through growing up, I had the whole identity crisis thing that I've heard a lot of other people talk about in sort of the same kinds of videos. Where at first I was like, well, I don't know what's going on with me. Maybe I'm bisexual. And then I thought, I was like, okay, well, I'm not bisexual. Maybe I'm gay. And then I was like, oh, well, I just don't like anybody. Which not only am I antisocial, I was like, oh, well, then I found out what asexual was. And I was like, oh, well, that kind of explains me a little bit better. Aromantic, asexual too. I don't like.
Oh my god, hey, I'm kissing man and woman. Oh, I'm bi. Oh, she was a female. She should start kissing female. Oh, I'm a lesbian. Maybe, but you don't have a stable relationship. I don't feel attracted. Well, I guess I'm asexual. Or you might have kissed so many people, you desensitize yourself to that feeling because you keep repeating it. And then you're gonna complain, I don't feel anything. I don't mean it in a harsh way. All I'm saying is that maybe she really felt so unloved that she would do anything to reach that moment. And sometimes that need for that validation, it can actually blind you. Trust me, I've been there. I really thought I need an extra new human eye to actually find love and to go forward or reach anything in my life. So my point is, if you need to change so many gender, maybe there's a red flag and maybe you should not transition that permanently yet.
I did take hormones. I took them for a little over a year. And I actually had my, approval letter to get top surgery, and I was working on scheduling that, which is when I decided it wasn't what I wanted anymore. And it was a really scary time. I was scared.
Hey man, good for you. Don't believe me? Go on TikTok. Looks, I'm trans for breast surgery or whatever. Say it's a bad thing. Oh my god, why would you do it? It's permanent. You have no idea what you're doing. They're just gonna respond, well, she can always get a boob job. You will realize how easily people want to confirm something to justify their own fat action to feel good about themselves. But when you wanna do it, the transition, look man, it's a very lonely road. There's a few Reddit places, but at this moment there's so many people experiencing them. There's a Reddit channel about detransitioning growing humongously quick right now. So if it's growing, maybe we have been changing too many people. But it's business, right? Be careful, people. If you have autism, you can still change. Your decision is valid. But if you want to detransition, maybe you have autism. You have to wait.
I was going to lose everything. Like my partner who I met identified as a gay man, so I was afraid that if I detransitioned, he wouldn't want to be with me anymore, which wasn't true. He's been my rock during all of that because that was such a hard time. Testosterone's a really powerful hormone.
Kudos to that gay man that decided to stay with this now lady, which actually officially makes him hetero for being with a man that now has become a lady. Hey, kudos to you. You actually love that person, not the whole package, and I hope you guys can have a good body. But it would not surprise me, people might attack him now, be like, oh my god, no, you're not really gay. I think you're hetero. You're not part of the LGBTQ community. Trust me, it might happen. I would bet money that it will happen. And if you're going to compare testosterone and estrogen, amen, go do a Google search, see which one has way worse effect or permanent.
Passed as a man fairly well, and I navigated life as a man fairly well. So having to rediscover navigating life as a female and trying to look feminine again was super difficult. And it's still hard now. When your voice drops from taking testosterone, it doesn't go back. And that's something I really struggle with. I used to love singing, but the way testosterone affected my voice, I don't like how I sound when I sing anymore. Socially, it's such a hard thing to do because you already feel like you have to justify being trans to begin with. And then so when you change your mind, it feels like all that justifying you did was just lying or like not being genuine.
The person that is transitioning is like, did I lie to myself? Or did somebody lead me to believe my own lies? You know? It makes you realize, hey, that's why I said like you kind of wake up from a dream. I'm not saying that dysphoria doesn't exist, but you start realizing, wait, I have to be accountable for my decision. For some odd reason, the way you were born, you saw a specific gender, and now you want to detransition because a specific gender exists. So officially, so you're feminine, so you feel masculine, so you think you have to be masculine, but there's no stereotype to transition to become something masculine, which is a masculine stereotype. You kind of confuse me too. You cannot do something to solve it by expecting a reaction from the outside. It has to come from the inside, how you respect yourself. And by respecting yourself, you can change your body so it will verify what's on the outside. It's like, I'm a very feminine boy as a kid. I had a woman's voice. I had no hair on my body. People treated me in a very unique way. All I needed was a lady suddenly that actually saw me like a man, made me feel comfortable the way I am, which made me explore being what I am already. And then it was like, hey, this is actually way more possible. So if you want to do something to your body, amen, you do you. All I'm saying is, just take a little time and don't listen to the people that are like, well, if you don't take it now, your body might already become masculine or too feminine and we cannot change that. No. It's better to have something half good when you feel good than have something half bad that you cannot fix because it's permanent. You get what I'm saying? I think this is enough information. But you're gonna find people that would say, just because you have dysphoria, that doesn't mean you're trans. I'm like, okay, then what identifies for the reason that I might be trans or not? What is the real reason? We need to explore whether, okay. But then you can't say, just take these testosterone and let's see how it feels. No, you can't say that. It's not a valid point. Nothing that's permanent is something that should be considered as valid. I don't mind if you experiment. I don't mind if you identify. I don't mind if you like boys or girls. Test everything. You will gonna realize, hey, maybe I like both. Maybe I suck at relationship. Maybe I'm very unbalanced in my life and that's why nobody likes me. Maybe I'm a geek. Maybe I don't know how to talk to a person. It's not that I'm not feminine enough to get their attention or masculine to get their attention. Maybe I'm just an awkward person. And you want to apply permanent? Nah, man. I think I made my point. But hey, let me know what you guys think. If you have this experience with a friend, are you transitioning or not? Yeah, just let me know what you guys think about the section. Keep me in touch. Comment, like, share, hit the bell notification if you like the content, and I'll keep you guys informed, okay?
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk criollo colombici jam jam. Turlo que ta verde ta welcome.